What's going on, everyone, on this wonderful platform of love and hate? Let me turn down this radio. I am now on the back half of my 2-hour drive, so I'll probably have 15-20 minutes left until I am at school. I hope everybody is having a great Tuesday. It is Tuesday. I know that because I have my kinesiology classes today. And I just want to talk about a couple things. First of all, if you are new to this channel, hello, my name is Brandon. It is nice to see you and have you here. Hopefully that sun goes behind some trees and you can actually see me and it doesn't look like Jesus is in the picture the whole time. It's not a bad thing, but I mean, I'm pretty cute. No, I'm just kidding. But anyways, thank you for joining the channel. If you do feel the need to subscribe, or you would like to subscribe, or you just want to watch more videos, feel free to drop a like, comment. I do reply to every single comment just because I like to have the interaction with you guys. Also, if you are new to this channel, I do a lot of different things. Talk about sneakers, workouts, schools, random topics, and today one of the topics I'm going to talk about is finding out what you want to do in your life. So I'm not saying I am the most wise or knowledgeable person on this topic. However, I do have a few years under my belt of trying a couple different things. And I may have talked about this before briefly, but I'm going to go into more detail about it. So, initially when I first started off, first of all, there was no way I had any, we didn't have the means growing up to pay for college. So college was pretty much out of the picture for me. That was something, unless I got a scholarship for football or whatever sport, or it definitely wasn't going to be academics. I'm just going to be honest. I didn't apply myself in school enough to get in. Also, I didn't have the knowledge to be in honors classes or whatever. So it probably wasn't until about my 8th grade year in school I joined this program called AVID. And it was the first program, or it was the first year that it was offered at our school, and you had to apply for it. And only certain kids got selected. Well, only, I believe it was 36 kids out of the whole entire class got selected. And I was one of those kids. And that class helped me realize that I need college. But I feel like for some of the teachers it was a blow-off class and they didn't take it seriously. So for us, we kind of took it as a study hall and we just did what we needed to. And also that was my first year playing football. Football was one of the cheaper sports. You only had to find $20 to get a physical, and then we would go shopping at Sports Authority in the clearance section for a pair of cleats, and that's all you needed. Everything else was given to you. There's no way that I could play baseball or basketball because you had to have your own ball, you had to have your own bat, helmet, blah blah, every cleats, additional cleats, different types. Football was simple, one pair of cleats, and honestly I'd find some cleats for like $15, and then you get a physical, like I said, for $20. And since I was in the AVID program, a lot of times it was free at the school, so that was a plus. So I start playing football, and I start thinking, man, I'm pretty good at this. I felt like I was pretty good. I kept moving up. I started off actually as a right guard, a third string right guard, because it was my first year. They didn't know who I was. Third string right guard and a fourth string defensive tackle. Before the end of the first week, this isn't tooting my own horn, I was on C team, which is the worst of the worst teams. So mind you, I'm last string, the worst team starting off. And I was a big boy. Short but big, as in thick. Anyways, so I start playing football, and at the end of the first week, I was first string right guard and first string defensive tackle. And I think it was just my heart, my hustle. And like I said, I'm not tooting my own horn, but I just wanted to play the game so bad. I wanted to hit people. I wanted to take my aggression out. I didn't know the plays. I didn't understand. I didn't know what a right guard was. I didn't know the only two positions I knew was a quarterback because of Troy Aikman and a running back because of Emmitt Smith. That's the only positions I knew. So when they told me right guard, I'm going on a tangent. I loved football. I played all the way up until my junior year. Right at the end of my junior year, going into my senior year, I was getting looks at a couple small colleges like TLU, Texas A&M, Kingsland, and I mean, honestly, they were just small looks. Like, honestly, here's a letter, we see you play football, come walk on. I don't even know if they're real looks. But my coach, Coach Feliciano, told me, hey, you're starting to cut weight. I was playing center at the time. I was getting looks for center, but TLU wanted to try me out for a fullback. So I started getting looks. Coach Feliciano told me, hey, I sent them some tape. I want to change you from a center to a fullback, but we're going to have to start working at this position. So all off season, the end of my junior year, I'm working at fullback, and this 18-wheeler is about to hit me while I'm driving. I'm working at fullback, and I'm loving the position. I absolutely love it. The cool thing about our coach is real old school. We had a halfback, we had a fullback, we sometimes ran 2 tight end sets, and the fullback, I would get the ball a lot. So it was real, like, I loved it. And I started, my passion for football was even more, because now I'm starting to get the ball instead of just being on the offensive line. I'm cutting weight, I'm feeling really good. And then one day in spring practice, it's our second day of spring practice, so now I'm becoming a senior. We hit the boards, and the 2x4 drill is pretty much, they say, hey, we need some extra linemen. So I've been a lineman, they bring me over there, and it's a board, a 2x4 board, and you line up along the board, and you meet somebody in the middle of it, and you connect, and you push each other one way off the board or the other. Well, I had lost a lot of weight now, and I hadn't been in the same weight class as these linemen. So I get on the board, I hit this kid right in the middle, and his name was Nathan Gutekunst. Actually went to A&M on a scholarship. This kid was huge. Hit me, bit me backwards. I felt my back pop. I literally rolled over in tears, and whatever it was, I knew football was over. With football being over, I knew college was over. I go to the doctor since it was a school injury. The school covered it. And man, I apologize for the sun. Y'all just stick through me. I'm getting somewhere, I promise. The school covers my visit. Turns out I have fractures in 2 of my lower vertebrae in my back. They were just, I want to say light fracture, but it wasn't a full break. It wasn't a full fracture. So I just had to stay off of it for 8 to 12 months. Staying off your back is kind of hard. You get up, you go. And for me, I knew the instant it happened, football was over, college was over. I have to figure something out. Literally weeks later, I start talking to the military. I joined the military. That starts to pay for some of my school. We get a new president. Our president gets reelected. He didn't do so good for the National Guard. He took away a lot of the funding. I actually had no school paid for after my first year in the National Guard. So then I started paying for it out of pocket. I worked at Walmart. I worked at McDonald's. I worked for the National Guard. These are not all at the same time. I worked for Sunglass Hut selling sunglasses. I worked for Lowe's. I worked for, I did my own thing. I customized and painted PlayStation controllers. I bought and sold shoes. I would go out and buy stuff at flea markets or Plato's Closet or whatever the place may be, Goodwill, and I would refurbish them and sell them. I worked at, I'm trying to tell you all the jobs so you have a mindset of where all I worked. I worked for a car dealership. I recruited in the military. I worked for Verizon for a little while, and then my last job I worked for Nike. I've worked a lot of jobs. I also did a contract job for 10 months, traveling all over the country for Apple, and I've had some good jobs, I've had some bad jobs, but no job have I ever fallen in love with. I would say the only time I've ever truly been happy with a job or work was when I was playing football but really that last year. So my senior year, since I couldn't play, I was still in football class. And since I was in football class, I would help coach. So I would help coach the linemen, or I would help coach the fullbacks or running backs or linebackers or whoever. I was really on both sides of the ball, all three phases of the game. And I loved it. These were kids that were in the same grade as me or below me, and I felt like I was helping them and making a difference. Recently, I've gone to an elementary school, and I coached some kids and taught some kids PE and different classes. And when I was recruiting, I would go to high schools and teach kids about the military or just about life in general, and I loved it. I felt like I was doing something. Whenever I worked for, let's just say, Verizon, people would come in and they want your help, but they just want you to sell them products, or working for Lowe's, they just want you to do something for them. And I didn't like that. I didn't get anything out of that. And the best job I ever had was that contract job when I was making I was making a good amount of money. And the money was cool, but when I was gone from Melissa, and even if she would have been with me, we weren't happy. I wasn't happy. I was doing nothing with my life. I was literally making money and then going home and spending it, or saving it, or whatever the case may be. And it wasn't satisfying to me. So now I'm 23. That's still young. I know a lot of you watching this probably like, dude, you're old, but that's still young. I'm finishing up my degree so I can go coach. And I think what a lot of people get wrong in this country, and many countries, we chase the dollar sign. And the whole point to this whole video, thank you if you've stuck through this far just listening to me, thank you. You can't just chase the dollar sign. Yes, it's important, but I've made $800 a month. I made triple than that in a week at some of my jobs. I made $800 a month when I first started working and living on my own work. And I had fun. Me and Alyssa would go travel. We would go do things with her family. We lived life. We enjoyed it. My point is if you're doing something you're loving, everybody says do something you love and you'll never work a day in your life. The reason they say that is because instead of going to work and just working for the dollar sign to do something fun later, you're going to work and you're getting something out of it, and it feels like you're just getting paid to be there. I mean, it's amazing. I'm not there yet, but I'm so excited to be there. And I do agree, if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. I do agree with that. I also agree there's a lot of jobs where people love them and end up hating them. And the point that I was making about $800 a month is you don't have to make 6 figures a year. You just have to live within your means. Everybody wants a big house. Everybody wants a nice car. But if you can put your money in the correct places, or you can balance your money. So let's say you make $2,000 a week. Okay, that's pretty good. That's $8,000 a month. So you're making $8,000 a month. If your house payment is $6,000 a month, which is a nice house, you have $2,000 left to put on cars, food, clothes, savings, insurance, phones, any computers, extra spending. You have $2,000 a month. That's not a lot of money if your house is $6,000. But if you're making $2,000 a month and you can have your mortgage be $700 and then everything else be $300, so that means you have $1,000 a month to spend on whatever you want to spend. That's pretty good. You following what I'm putting? You picking up what I'm putting down? Tracking like a VCR? Some of you might not understand that. I know it's been 15 minutes of me talking about this. Find what you love. Live within the money of that job. And you'll be happy. If you're happy at work, your life, I promise you, your life will be so good. Yes, trials and tribulations will come, but your life will be so good. If you guys have any comments about this, drop them down below. Thank you for watching the videos. I have a couple reviews on the way coming. I got some PES science supplements coming through, which I'm very excited to try. I have some PSD underwear that I'm going to do just a quick unboxing for you guys. I have a pair of shoes on the way. I have a cause something on the way. I won't talk about it now. You'll just have to see what it is. I'll catch you guys next time. I hope y'all have a great day. Thank you for viewing the video and spending some time with me. I'll catch y'all next time.